Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to today's Raw Opinions video. This is where we go down all your thoughts, all your feedback, and we'll see what the community has got to say about the shows. So we're going to jump into this. We've had 56 responses, which is crazy for an episode of Raw. That's a lot of responses, right? So we'll get straight into it. I scored this show about a 6.75. I mentioned that on the breakdown video. I still thought this show was decent, but it did not live up to its epic billing, right? But let's see what you lot thought. Austin said, I enjoyed it. It wasn't must-see, but we did have some good matches with Knight and Jey and Solo Gunther. The main event, plus some talking points, like Jey losing it, Liv heading towards a feud with Steph, and that Maxine video package was pretty cool. So 6.75, says Austin. Dave said, it's not an epic Raw, but it's an enjoyable Raw. Liv Morgan stole the show, and I love that the women's tag titles are being pushed. LA Knight was good. Jey flipping out means a possible heel turn. So a positive 7 out of 10. Bron versus CM Punk on my birthday. That's quite the birthday gift. Wrestling Void, shout out to you, said Jey Uso versus LA Knight was okay. I think it was better that Creative went with Knight winning. Next, the Tag Team Championship match was good. They retain, which is fine. Gunther solo, Gunther was always going to win. Rio versus Chalexa was boring. There wasn't much to it. So 6 from Wrestling Voids. All Game 17 said, I thought Raw was good. It wasn't great. I liked the ending of Raw. I was happy to see Liv, Stephanie, Roxy, Alexa probably head into a fatal 4-way tag match. Liv slapped Dom twice. I don't know if there's anything to that. I thought Judgment Day was done, but they're looking stronger than ever. So all Game 17 giving it 6 out of 10. Metal Mama said, to be honest, all I can say is that it was not epic. I was hoping for it to be, though. 4 out of 10 from Metal Mama. She said, I just find myself getting easily distracted or bored and then lost into what I'm even watching. Normally, that's not the case. Hopefully, it gets better. Rowdy Warrior said, this is my rundown of the epic show. I don't know if I can even read it, to be honest. Best of the night promo was Bron. Pop was Rhea and Liv. MVP was Pierce. HSM was Lee AJ. LA wins. Match was Gunther. Overall, 3.7. So, there we go. Thank you. Taker 1990 said Raw was a 7. Charlotte Alexa versus Rio Io was match of the night. Plus the carnage after. Taker 1990, thank you. Elite Pro Wrestling Forum said LA win means nothing. Jey losing is good for his future. Love the dungeon video. Great tag title and finish. Gunther solo was great. Heel versus heel works if it's done right. Great main and fallout. Face versus face can work too. Loads to talk about tonight. It was semi-epic. So 7.5. See you for NXT. Cole said, Liv and Dom segment and the main event and ending was epic. I thought the Devil's Kiss suplex thing that Charlotte did was cool. The rest was decent enough, but nowhere near epic. Much closer to average. Pleasantly surprised that LA Knight won. Wrestling fan said, I enjoyed this episode of Raw. There was some great in-ring action, but that epic comment from Triple H took some points off for me. Real John said, it certainly wasn't epic, but not bad. I do like that we are actually focusing on the women's tag division. The women's tag titles need this. Gunther solo was match of the night. Main event really just set up a big brawl for the women's tag division. Overall, 6.5. G. Mel said, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't epic. Not sure what they're doing with Jey. I was sure the masked person was Theory until I saw a post about it maybe being Montez Ford's. Maddie gives it a 6, mostly because my 2 favourite wrestlers got so good thing tonight, in my opinion, says Maddie. So, Maddie, enjoying it. Chris said, it was a fun watch. I was sports entertained. 6.75. I'm just glad I didn't fall for the Triple H epic tweet. The match quality tonight was so much better than what it's been for a while. So I'll take it. I'm going to try and take a positive attitude towards WWE, at least as much as possible. Zortz said if Triple H hadn't made that epic comment, it would have been a fine Raw. However, just lying to get viewership up after a mid-Survivor Series was just cheap to me. The Mystery Man didn't even appear. There's not enough progressed, and they did a DQ in the main event. The saving grace was they did a DQ in a good main event. 5 out of 10 said Zorts. Sanan said, I thought this was a decent Raw. Best promo was, Bron's promo was amazing. I wouldn't complain if they put the title on him on January 5th. I enjoyed the Judgment Day segment, but it was way too short. Jey losing has made my damn year. Gunther solo was a banger. This Raw was epic. Laughing faces. 6.5. Wrestling XFR says 6.5. Not bad, but still disappointing that there was no follow-up on the Masked Man from Survivor Series. Daryl said 6.75. It was okay. A big relief the final of the Cena tournament isn't Gunther Jey. Hoping after the Cena final, we at least get a Cena video package. Bron Punk for the title in January will be a great start to 2026. I wonder if Bron wins it there and Punk wins the Chamber. Fred Fox said Jey Uso versus LA Knight was okay. LA Knight deserved the win. Tag Team Championship match was New Day should have won. Gunther solo was match of the night. Main event was should have been a number 1 contenders match. So overall 6-5. Larry says impressed. Best Raw this year, in my opinion. Men and women's tag and world title storyline started. Mid-card setups made. Less talk, more action. Sick of 30-minute promos before the first match. 5 minutes with Rio and Charlexa was plenty. Get out there, say what's needed to get things going. Lion of the Mat said good outcomes for the LTIN tournament. LA Knight versus Gunther. Bron Breakker. Fire promo. El Patata says, Bron had a great promo. Why have to wait a month for the title shot that you've earned? Why doesn't the IC champ Maxine show up to defend? You train to be a champion, not as champion. Women's War Games already had no stakes, but now the war isn't over, and Rio want revenge. They beat the Kabuki Warriors 5 times already. I hate how every woman suddenly targets the tag titles when there's 2 titles with barely any challengers. There's no challengers to Dominic too, but that's usual. Watching AEW streaming live wrestling on HBO Max. No thank you, El Patata. WWE would have to fall so far down the pecking order for us to even remotely be interested in watching AEW. Don't you bring your propaganda around here, right? Otherwise, I'll start thinking you're Tony Khan in disguise. Mitchell said it was a great promo from Bron. Loved seeing women's wrestling getting highlighted and the main event. Sadly, the DQ ending was a bummer. Happy that Jey lost and LA Knight moved on. Gunther beating Solo was the right call, and always happy when AJ Styles gets the win. Live back is great. 6.75. Uncle Howdy Dreads said heel Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 42. Dean said, I thought Raw was good. I would like to see a women's tag TLC match for the tag titles. I thought all the matches tonight were great. I love the Io Sky sign. I'm glad we're not getting another Jey Gunther match. Love the stream and see you for NXT. Hannah said, I'm going to give it a 7.5. It wasn't a bad show, but a great one. Opening segment was mids. JD segment was weird because I thought something would have happened. LA Knight against Jey Uso, 7 out of 10. Wasn't expecting Knight to win. Bron's promo was fire. Seeing Jey get frustrated was brilliant. I do think a heel turn might be coming. AJ and Dragon Lee against New Day, the ending sequence made it match of the night, so 8 out of 10. Gunther solo was all right, 7.5. Main event was going all right until the Kabuki Warriors got involved, so I would like to see a TLC ladder match. Michael said 6. Wouldn't call this episode epic, like Triple H said it would be, but I'll say the quality of the show was actually good, which was much needed after the lackluster Survivor Series. Robbie said, thank God LA Knight won. Voted great in the poll because of it. WTF was that cringe Judgment Day segment. Bron isn't it. It was more cringe than the Judgment Day promo. More interested in Ethan and Ricky than the weakest Steiner. Solo had the best match. Solo's best match. Epic trash episode. The ending was lame with a DQ. So Robbie gives it a 3. Uncle Howdy is finally back, said, Raw was okay for me tonight. I think Jey is slowly turning heel. I really enjoyed Bron Breakker's promo, and I like how they are figuring out who was the mystery guy. Liv promo was good. Main event was all right for me. I'm giving it a 7. See you for NXT. See you then, buds. Elite Pro Wrestling Forum said, on the side, I was with Jey snapping early. Then he said the belts look better on Roman. Roman is gaslighting you for years. You're a former world champion now. Act like it, says Elite Pro Wrestling Forum. Las Vegas Matt said, was Raw better than Survivor Series? Yes. The post-Survivor Series show was better, but that's not saying much. Glad that we got Gunther LA Knight in the finals. Best solo match in a long time. Love that all the women are getting screen time. Great opening and main event. So 7 out of 10. Brady said, Alexa Bliss opening and ending the show. What a night. Main event was epic. The brawl between the 5 teams makes me excited. Would love a tag team TLC match between them. Dark Phoenix Tees said, great show. Liv is back, and Judgment Day are putting the locker room on notice. Jey Uso heel turn, load him. Solo Gunther was excellent, and the women's tag team Power Surge is loading. So 875. See you for NXT. Wrestling Warrior said, I'm going to score tonight's episode 7.5. John Elite said, I think Gunther wins the tournament. Wouldn't be mad if LA Knight won it, though. What a promo from Bron. I wouldn't mind Bron dethroning Punk. Wonder when the Mystery Man reveal happens. Jey crashed out after losing. Heel turn tease. Loved the fan brought the EO emote sign. That was great. Joey said, that episode was not epic. Jason said, this is kind of tricky for me. The word epic really bothers me, and H really needs to stop doing that. The Gunther match was great. The show wasn't bad. I'm giving it 6.5. I like the promo from Bron. The AJ Dragon Lee match was good, and the main event, thumbs up. Spike said, still waiting to see what was epic. Match, no story. Match, no story. Raymond said, Daze, Raw tonight was epic. Honestly, the matches were great, and the show was great. And overall, I truly enjoyed Raw. Felt bad for Jey losing, and Solo Gunther match was okay, nothing great. So, respectfully, I'm going to give it 7.25, close to an 8. Shouldn't that be 7.75 then? See you for NXT. Wrestling fan since day one said the show was epic. 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. Really amazing. Let's go. That's however. There he is. There he is. Sarah said, I'm still waiting on the epic. Roger said, epic, extremely poor in creative. Brendan said, minimum of 3 average viewers on 4 different days. Eric said, what was epic about it? Triple H should really be careful about his wording. Kelly said, I loved it. It was great having Liv back on the mic to annoy us with her laugh. Not buying her being nice to Roxanne. Something's definitely going to fall apart there. The Mystery Man thing does not need to be dragged out because we know who it is. And we know that WWE does not do well when dragging shiz out. Just to reveal them next week. And what's up with Jey? Where are we going with him? Is he going to do the woe is me pity party? Or will he go batshit crazy? I really did not expect LA Knight to win, but it doesn't matter because we know Gunther is going to be seen as opponent. Matches were really good. Even Rhea and Charlotte's mishap in the ring. The ending was wild, but there weren't enough corners on the ring for everyone to be in a title match. Can't wait for Liv and Stephanie. That's going to cook. Overall, it was a great show. 7.25. Well, TLC would mean that it wouldn't be a traditional tag match. So, you know, we could do something along those lines. Or it could be like a tornado tag where it's just chaos. Everyone's just fighting and there's not really, those traditional tag rules. So, yeah, it is true. Lots of teams. I mean, honestly, I said it during the stream. There's more excitement around the tag belts than there is around the world title. I mean, if you look over on SmackDown, you've got Jade as champion with B-Fab and Michin around. And then you look over at what we're doing with the tag belts and you got Bayley, Lyra, Charlotte, Alexa, Asuka, Io, Rhea. Liv Morgan, Roxanne, Raquel. It's crazy, isn't it? Wrestling's biggest fan said, I liked it a lot. 7.5. Kanon said 5 out of 5. Charlotte and Alexa versus Rio was interesting, but I want to see Alexa join Wyatt 6. Stephanie's opponent will be Asuka or maybe Julia. Liv is boring. Why can't they make main stories? Need T20 said 6. If Triple H promises epic, he has to deliver. Raw was good, but since Elimination Chamber, WWE has been failing. Where was the masked man? Is he going to drag that out for months? The same he did with the Wyatt 6. Triple H is not delivering. And that's a shame because he's got the best roster. Through the Ropes said it was decent, but it was far from epic. That's for sure. Prince Bowie said Raw is back. Here we have got Cine Mod Yesler said most of the show was average. Happy that LA Knight won. Looks like that tweet was deleted. RT said, what a styles clash, that was sick. DJ Supernick said, still no identification of the mystery person. A+ student said it was okay, nothing special. And Trey Zane Fan said, Raw was amazing, better than most Raws. I just wish they had revealed the mystery attacker tonight instead of waiting any longer. So there we go, your favourite match of the night according to our community was the Gunther match, Gunther against Solo. Didn't live up to its epic billing. I don't think I've said that word so many times in my life, but it was still a very solid episode, judging by that feedback. Some people not enjoying it. But I think there are some green shoots there, things that we can definitely water and grow. I think we could get a TLC, which would be amazing for the women. And obviously, Liv, Stephanie, that should be fun. Bron, CM Punk, that should be fun. Bit of a shame we got to wait so long, but should be fun. And yeah, definitely we took some steps forward here. So very good. We'll be back later for NXT. If not, then I will see you on Friday. We will be back for SmackDown. Appreciate people sharing their thoughts and hopefully see you next time. Bye for now.